I'd like to say, I'm sorry, as you probably noticed, English is not my first language, and it's very late. So, if you miss something, ask me to repeat, and I will repeat even better than the first time. But I will be glad to do that. Or otherwise, we have Malaika that can help us.
I can help
with the translation.
Yes.
You sound fabulous.
If you're stuck,
thank you so much.
Gianluca, if you're stuck, just tell me and I can help you, yeah?
Great, thank you so much. At this time
yeah,
of the night, it's perfect.
Sounds good. Now, let's talk about the story, because this is, you know, I am an escapee of domestic violence. I have seen what the boy has seen, but I've experienced it myself. So for me, there was a certain catharsis in how he was dealing with it, what he was feeling, supernatural elements, you know, that some of us go through, and you want to feel invincible, but you're helpless. You want to get out, but you can't. You know, and the mother too. And you managed to capture both of these while also telling a very strong and beautiful story about male bonding, about finding a family outside a family, about finding a father figure. Tell us about that.
At first, I would like to say thank you so much, because every time that I hear this kind of speech from people who experienced what you have experienced, everyone in a different way, of course, I feel very, very, very small all of a sudden. And I really hope that this film could be, I don't know the right word, a caress. Is it caress the right word?
Cathartic?
No, come si dice carezza, Malaika?
Like a caress,
A
so
caress.
it gives
It's
you
the right
a
word.
hug?
Okay. A caress for people who lived what you have lived. Because we never thought about make a lesson out of a film. Me and Michela, the other screenwriter, we never thought about making a film that could be a lesson. This is not what we wanted to do. We wanted to make people in general, and especially people who lived what you've lived, less alone somehow. And so thank you so much for what you just said. Also, yes, you mentioned male bonding, but at the same time, I think that the film is a film about what kind of a man you want to be, what you want to become. Because somehow I think that nowadays all of us we have to look for a new way to be men, and of course it's a research that it's full of mistakes, like all of the researches, but it's a research that we have to do nowadays. And even if this film is not a lesson, still teach me something after I've made it, and this is one of these things. So I hope I answered your question.
You have
Okay,
indeed.
great.
And let's move to Andrea. Thank you for being here with us. Now, that was a beautiful role, and you essayed it with ease. It felt like you just walked into that role and you took it on. Did you do much prep to get there?
Yeah, no, it was, oh, sorry.
Okay. So it was hard. Just when you work with a child, if you are an actor, it's something like that. You have a pressure for everything. It's something like you have to do. Come posso dire, quando devi portare la barca, when you have to take the ship, no, right, at the river, so you have this responsibility, so was so hard about this, but Francesco, he was so good. I fell in love with him for the first time when I see him, because I go with it. I go is the wrong. I know. I'm so sorry because
My help.
Yeah, no, perché sono andato. Ho fatto i provini casting per Francesco, no? insieme a Gianluca nella
So
parte
you
finale.
attended the casting?
Yeah.
Or so you picked the kids
Yeah,
with
yeah,
them?
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
I don't understand why I understand English, but when I had to speak, so
Because
much.
it's very late.
So
Because some beers went between the screen
yeah, it takes two beers.
of course.
No, but I don't know.
And all of the English is gone. All the way.
And I fall in love with him because when I see him, I remember there was two little guys, Francesco and another one, I don't remember the name. But when I see him, it was something like, oh my God, it's so perfect. It was this face like Pinocchio, Pinocchio from Collodi. His voice, everything was perfect. And I say to Gianluca, please, you have to take this one. I was like, yeah, in the stadium, like, please take Francesco.
And did you do much prep? Did you spend a lot of time with him before the shoot?
Yeah, of course. You have to. So if you want to make something good, so I think you have to come si dice, instaurare.
Create.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So easy. Create.
You
You have to create something. You have to create something with the little guys. So because they don't know nothing about acting or something like that, and I worked with him to take him with me. To give him all of love possible, and that's it. And finally, I think we do something good. So right now, he's totally falling in love with me, and I fall in love with him. Yeah, it's
They became friends actually. Yeah, it was something that I told him at the beginning. I told him, we need you to become friend with Francesco, and it happened very naturally at the end of the day. So, and it really helped.
And it showed.
And
It showed on screen.
And they're still great friends nowadays.
Yeah, well,
Somehow.
not sometimes. No.
Not somehow.
When you see me, the last day I see him. Every time he see me is something like his shine, something. Yeah, when he see me, he look me like a really superhero, super killer, and that's so crazy.
So sequel is coming.
Do you want to produce it?
Well, we might have some producers in the room. Now, I know the audience is very keen to ask you some questions. So I'm going to turn this over to the audience. We have a roving mic, so please put your hand up and it will come to you. Any questions? This is going to be right at the front. Amazing.
Wow.
Thank you for a beautiful film and a funny film and a very touching film. I really enjoyed watching it and the interplay, particularly between the characters. I noticed that there were points where I was thinking of Rutger Hauer in Blade Runner with the bleached blonde hair and the sort of statuesque physique and the graffitied walls. There was a very strong look to the whole film that was really kind of grungy and threatening and bleak to a lot of it, interspersed with the beautiful sea and everything. What was your thinking in creating that? Did you find a location that was perfect, or did you go looking for that kind of feel for the movie? Because it informed the whole film really well, I thought.
With the locations, we've worked with the actors. I was looking for some locations that could be able to be an enrichment for the film. So not just something that was in my mind, but something that was bigger than what I was imagining while I was writing. We found this kind of locations in the Romagna region, and I actually really fell in love with the look. I grew up in a place that is very similar to this one. So I've always been in love with the fascinating winter beaches because I think that, you know, this kind of places, are places that we know with full of colors, full of tourists during summer. But I think that in winter there is another kind of atmosphere that it's still beautiful anyway, just in a different way. And this kind of this is the kind of mode that I was looking for. But I found something that was bigger than what what was on the paper, basically. So this is how we worked.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks so much.
Excellent. Any other questions? Monica?
Yes.
This is our artistic director, by the way,
Yeah.
of the Raindance Film Festival. She's helped pick this film, so thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much.
I didn't have the chance to ask you this question because you put a kid in a very difficult situation. Of course, you have the friendship, which is beautiful, but you also have this horror frame that for a kid is difficult to digest. And I was wondering, how did you work with him to make him accept that and not for him to be too traumatizing?
This kind of things, this kind of horrors, are already present in the life of these kids, because they, even if they don't experience this in their personal life, they are exposed to this kind of situations by the